Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life. I'm going to be making cranberry juice today. We are cranberry farmers. I am going to take some of the hundreds and hundreds of pounds of cranberries that I froze last year, the 2023 crop, and I'm going to turn that into a very, very simple cranberry juice. So let me just kind of show you here what I'm going to do here today. If you're brand new here, welcome. I don't always stay on task in my videos and just give you exactly what it is that I say here. Oftentimes I go on tangents and just do other kinds of things. I have only one of my 7 kids home with me today. That is Joseph. He's our 15-year-old, soon to be 16. He's been telling me every day, I'm 16. I said, not yet. We have just about
16.
Not yet, Joe. I think we have 11 minus 2, 9 more days. 9 more days and you'll be 16. But for the first part of the video, I am going to stay focused here and I am going to show you a very, very simple way to make cranberry juice. My fruit is frozen here today. I have my clean jars here. I'm going to put 2 cups, which is going to fill this about halfway with cranberries. I'm going to fill it the rest of the way to a 1/4 inch headspace with water.
16.
I'm going to put lids and rings onto it, put this in a hot water bath, and I am going to hot water bath can this for 15 minutes. It's not a complicated process. If you want a sweetened cranberry juice, you can put a 1/4 cup, a 1/2 cup of sugar. Really, it just depends on how sweet you want it. You could even put in a little bit of honey or maple syrup. That also would work just as well.
Mama,
but I like, just a minute, Joe.
That's 16.
Almost.
That's
But
16.
okay, but I like to make it without sugar, or at least that's what I'm doing this time. Then we can strain it into a pitcher, and people can add a little bit of sugar to it if they want. They can strain it into a glass. A lot of times what I end up doing is just taking a jar, and I just kind of end up sipping out of this jar. And then I end up just putting the lid on, sticking it in the fridge, bringing it out the next day, and just sipping on it. And I like it like that. I like it unsweetened. If you want, you can only do 1 cup of cranberries to a jar too. That will give you a very light tasting. When I say light, it's just not going to be as strong, just a light tasting cranberry juice. So play around with it. Put some, label your jars, 1 cup cranberries, 2 cups cranberries, no sugar, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and just see what you like. So anyway, that is what is going down here today. Making cranberry juice this way does take up a lot of space on your canning shelves. So if you don't have a lot of space, I will link a video below, and maybe I'll even get to making some of that style of cranberry juice in this video, but I use a steamer juicer. I have a stainless steel steamer juicer, and where the cranberries go in the top, water goes in the bottom. The steam brings the juice out of the cranberries. There's a tube then. The juice is then collected in the middle of the 3 kind of like stacking pots. There is a tube on that middle one, and then you just put pure, straight cranberry juice into the jars. You can fill them right up, put the lid on. It is so like hot, hot, hot that as soon as you put the lid on and the ring, it will seal itself. I haven't ever actually kept those on the shelf like that. We usually just store them in the fridge because we have enough refrigerator space in our garage fridge, and that is a good way to get a nice concentrated cranberry juice. Again, you can add that to a pitcher, add some sugar, add some water, or as Warren likes to do with that juice, he just pours it and just drinks it just straight. He says it's whiskey without the alcohol because it's very, very strong. Okay, but that's another way you can do cranberry juice. I have a couple of videos where I've shown that, and like I said, I may get to making some like that because that is on the plan. I am completely out of cranberry juice right now, and I don't like to get to that position. This is my water bath canner. I have it full about half full with water. I'm going to get this on the stove and get this starting to heat. Now to fill these jars, I'm going to fill them to a 1/4 inch headspace. And well, let me just check on that quick. I just checked, it is a 1/4 inch headspace. I'm going to fill this with not ice cold water, but not the hottest water either. All right, then you're just going to want to run a vinegar soaked cloth over the top, put on the lid, and put on a ring just fingertip tight. I'm just going to reuse the lids, or not lids, the rings. Don't reuse the lids. I'm going to reuse my rings from my blackberry jam that I made. Gosh, it's only it's fried. I made that on Monday or Tuesday. So I'm going to use these rings. All right, my water is heating up nicely. I'm going to get as many jars as I can in here. It's usually 7 quarts. I will then bring it to a boil and turn it down so it's at a very low bubble for 15 minutes. You can see the water level is coming up. You always want to make sure that there's an inch at least of water over the top of your jars. Okay, that's going to make it overflow. So we are going to use this little bowl here. Take a little bit of water out. Oop, that's still going to do it, isn't it? Scoop some more water. Now we should be okay. Oh boy, okay. And when I'm doing quart jars in here, yes, it goes all the way up to the very top. So that's why once it starts to boil, you turn it to a low boil. So it's just kind of going bloop, 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 bloop. Kind of like that. Was that a good description for you guys? And that is where you know that is the temperature that you need it for hot water bath canning. All right, this is boiling now, and so I just turned it down. I want to show you. But it is there. Do you see how it's boiling? It was just boiling crazily, and I have water all over the place because my kettle is not super deep. Oh, the lid is starting to lift off. So let me just put that a little bit askew. That's okay, as long as as long as the water in there keeps on boiling at a low boil. All right, 15 minutes in the canner. So I'm kind of going back and forth between editing a video and canning. I did turn off the heat. And then after a couple of minutes, I checked and it was actually siphoning. So what that means is that when I lifted it out like this from like right under the ring there was some juice that was siphoning out, and that means that it needed to stay in the hot water a little bit longer, just to cool down a little bit, so that when you take it out, you don't have such a change in temperature and everything, because you want all the juice to stay in the jar. You don't want it siphoning out. So now when I lift it out, it's probably been 15 minutes now. Look at that. Nothing is siphoning out. That's perfect. So let me get these transferred over. I'm going to use my canning lifter. I usually just call these the canning tongs, but I think its actual name is jar lifter. I think that's the actual name for it. I have a double layer of towels here on my counter, and I'm just going to get those set on here. And I'm not going to set them like glass touching each other. I'm going to give them a little bit of space in between, just so they have plenty of air circulating around them so they can cool. As I was lifting them out, I heard a couple of them already pop, which means that they have sealed. And just the sound is that you're kind of listening for that. So I don't think, yeah. There. These have not sealed yet. Sometimes it can take, you know, all the way up to 5 or 10 or so minutes after bringing them out for them to seal. But this is the one that when I was lifting it out, I heard it seal. Hear the difference in sounds? That one has like a ting, ting, ting. That means that it's been sealed. I just loaded up the canner with another load. I have my heat set to high. I'm going to let that come to a boil, turn it down. It's the same process, and then 15 minutes. All right, tonight for supper we are having some pasties. So Warren and I just got back last night from a little one-night getaway over to the Kewanee, Algoma, Two Rivers, Wisconsin area. Anyway, at one of the little shops in Algoma, they had these like par-baked and frozen pasties, and so we bought 4 of them. There's 6 of us here for supper tonight, so we're just going to kind of have to split them. I also put out some lunch meat and cheese, along with some bread, and then I have some vegetables over here and some pears and black olives. So that is going to be our supper here tonight. All the juice is done, and it looks so pretty. I love the way that looks. And with this style of juice, you could drink it right away. I do think it's best if you wait at least 2 weeks. It just works better that way. And you can, there's no sugar, Peter, but you can add a little, it's just straight, but you can add a little sugar. You can see on some of the jars, these are the jars from that first, batch, I think. I had a little bit of water siphon out. And so, or wait, maybe those are from the last ones. No, those are cooler. But the last ones, I didn't have any siphoning, so that was great. Just going to let these cool. I will label these. I will take the rings off and store them in the basement on the canning shelves just like that.